What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're having a good week as always. I'm here. We're outside the Hall of Administration for Orange County, and there is a board of supervisors meeting going on today where the health directors in Orange County are suggesting, and they have been suggesting, to roll out a vaccine passport. They want to have, they're naming it something else, but they basically want to have, if you go to Disney or go to certain areas, roll that out where you need proof of vaccination in order to do that. My name is Anomaly. I'm a resident of Orange County, and I'm also a news analyst online with over 600 million views. I recently got demonetized yesterday and restricted for telling the truth about these vaccines. They're not FDA approved. They're emergency use authorization. That's a fact. Jen Psaki, the secretary, press secretary for Biden, lied about that. I told the truth about it on Facebook, and they're covering up and restricting me for telling the truth that it's not FDA approved, that it's emergency use authorized. They should be ashamed of themselves. And as far as forcing people to do something or trying to, if everybody ate almonds, most people would be fine. But some people would have side effects, some people are allergic, and some people would die. These vaccines are exactly the same, and you guys know it, and you guys should be ashamed of yourself for trying to do a passport, because not everybody has a great effect from it, and they know that, the vaccine manufacturers. That's why they have liability protected for themselves under the PrEP Act and the NCBIA. So this is absolutely ridiculous, even if it was FDA approved, to try to force somebody to eat a food or take a drug, let alone not approved, as they're taking the J&J one off today in mainstream news. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. And the media is trying to, of course, spin everything as if you disagree with this, you're an anti-vaxxer, and it's totally untrue. It doesn't make you anti-vaccine if you don't want to live your whole life like a prisoner and a slave to a passport that they make you show. So I'm going to go over here, show some stuff, and then I'm also going to explain real quick as everybody gets in. I need to talk about what happened on Facebook yesterday, because I had my page restricted. I don't even know if people can. I appreciate you guys for being here. I don't mind that the numbers are low, but I got my page restricted yesterday by Facebook for fact-checking Jen Psaki. So now not only are they lying about it, not only are they trying to, in my county and all over the country, try to force people to take this product and basically show identification for it, but they're also taking down media like my own that's honest and accurate. Speaking about FDA approval, fact-checking Jen Psaki's lies, they're taking that down. And of course this morning, I'll show you the crowd in a second. This morning, the FDA and the CDC recommended the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has now been halted for emergency use. So as they're doing all this, they're rolling it out, they're trying to stop me from accurately reporting it. And the truth is, regardless of how much they want to censor me, they could take all my money, they could take my audience, they could take my Facebook pages, but I will not stop telling you the truth that these 3 vaccines are not FDA approved. That's just a fact. They are not FDA approved. They are emergency use authorized. And hi. I'll say hi. Thank you. You know, the emergency use authorization has now been halted of some extent to the Johnson & Johnson one, because they're not approved and they're just rolling them out, and now they're rescinding it. So how can they censor me? I don't understand, but I don't care. I'm here to support at the Orange County Board of Supervisors meeting, and I might get a chance to speak to them, this wicked, wicked man who wants to roll out vaccine passports. And also, they're trying to basically make it so kids can vaccinate without their parents' consent. There's some sick people out there, and we're not going to stand for it. So I'm going to show you over here real quick. Got a lot of people out here. Facts. Hello. I'm just going to repeat that. Thank you guys for rolling in. I'm just going to get away and just repeat that real quick for y'all. Hi. These are emergency use authorization. Most of the time, and I'll keep saying this, I don't care how many videos they take down. I don't care if they take down my whole page. They're going to hell. And they don't even have to go to hell like after life, because they're bringing hell on earth. If you wear 2 masks if you're living in fear and isolation, if you're not seeing your family, if you're treating your kids like trash, if you're strapping dirty cloths on their face that you know they dropped at the playground just because you're trying to follow the rules, even though you know it's abusive, if you're treating your elders like prisoners and you're not seeing them and making them isolate and they can't walk and their body's wearing down, if you're doing this, you're living in hell on earth. These people are self-manifesting hell, and they don't even need to pass away to get there, because what type of nightmare are they doing? But before I get off topic, these are emergency use authorized. That's a fact. They're not approved, and the Johnson & Johnson one has now been halted. That's CNN, CNBC, mainstream news, and they're censoring my videos for doing it. Literally, they took down my Jen Psaki lie. So I know my audience knows, but I want to let people know. They're not concerned with facts. They're not fact-checking. They are a cover-up organization. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, they're all in on it. They all are pushing this agenda. They all are pushing their political agenda, their medical agenda, their societal agenda, in many cases their Marxist agenda, and then saying anybody who opposes it, no matter how scientific, what I said is true. What Jen Psaki said is false. She lied on camera. She looked in your face and said, all three of them are FDA approved. Fact check, false. Fact check, wrong. And you know what they did? They took down my video. So how do they care about the facts? I don't know what's going on over here. It's getting a little rowdy, but they don't care about the facts. They literally penalize me for telling the truth, and they reward Jen Psaki for lying. I don't know. I'm going to speak to a legal team. I probably don't have a case, but I'm so tired of these phonies and frauds taking down my video. Go watch my Jen Psaki video if you can find it. I literally show proof. FDA website. It's on the fact sheet. I'm just reading the fact sheet from the FDA website. Well, anomaly, we're such liars and we're such frauds and we're such schemers that when you read facts off the FDA website, it's bad for us, because when people know the truth, it's not good. People need to know the lie. They just want to propagandize, feed you Krispy Kreme donuts, just jam things down your throat, and then a month later, after they censor me for saying it, then all of a sudden they admit it themselves, like, you know what, actually today we're going to pull the Johnson & Johnson emergency use authorization because it was never approved. That's not approved. The Moderna's not approved. The Pfizer's not approved. None of them have FDA approval. They are emergency use authorized, which is not the same. And the FDA even took that away, or is halting that with the Johnson & Johnson. So everything, when it's all said and done, when history proves itself, everything that I got censored for, and I make mistakes, but not as many because I actually fact check. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but when I do my reporting, I don't lie. I make sure I'm factually accurate. When it's all said and done, everything I got censored for was me reporting on the truth and them trying to cover it up. People need to be held accountable, because these are a cover-up, dishonest situation going on. The two things that I got most censored for, one was that thing where I fact-checked Jen Psaki and I was right and she was wrong. And the other one, when I was talking about the coronavirus's origins and how it became to be and weighing in on that, now you have Sanjay Gupta from CNN and Robert Redfield, the ex-CDC director, who both believe this came from an accidental leak from a Wuhan lab. So last year, when I did flawless reporting on it, better than Sanjay Gupta, better than anybody on CNN, and I actually did a real piece just weighing it. I said, I don't know where this virus came from. I'm not saying it's man-made. I'm not saying it was made in a lab, but I am going to do real research and say, did it do this? Here's the possibilities. They censored the crap out of that video, and then a year later, Sanjay Gupta on CNN and Robert Redfield, ex-CDC director, they come out and say, oh, you know what? Actually, we think it's accidental from a Wuhan lab, and now you're allowed to share it on Facebook. How come I'm not allowed to tell the truth a year ago or speculate on it, but they're allowed to tell you this? I'm so tired of these liars. And the only way they get away with it is because people let them. Guys, have no fear. Don't be a coward. Have honor, okay? Because what they're doing right here at Orange County, they're trying to roll out vaccine passports under a different name. They want you to be a prisoner for the rest of your life over a coronavirus while they guilt you and force you to take an emergency use authorized thing that they're pulling off the market today. This is one of the biggest scams in modern history. And I'm not anti this or I'm not anti-pill. Am I anti-pill because I know the history of Bextra and Pfizer? Google that. Look, research that. CNN used to cover it. One of the biggest fraud cases ever settled out in the U.S. Drug Department was with a product from Pfizer. Pfizer had to settle out with the Justice Department. So am I a conspiracy theorist for knowing that? No, that's a fact. And they did it for decades or years. And then eventually they got caught. And then eventually they had to pay money. Okay, that's what happened. So The same thing is going on here. I'm not saying to the same extent or what's what, but you can't force me to do something that's not even been approved. You can't force children to do something that's not even been approved, that's being pulled off the market now in regards to the Johnson & Johnson. And everybody just sits around like, oh, I'm gonna get it. It's the safe one. I'm sure you'll be fine, but they just, it's not me saying it. Look at CNN, CDC, FDA. I'm tired of being censored for just reporting what they're saying. Google it or look on my page. They've halted emergency use trials or whatever they're doing on the Johnson & Johnson because they're finding problems with it. All right, let's go back and see what they're talking about over here. They can't do this. Not in my county, not anywhere. I will not fly. I will not travel. I will not go to, obviously not Disney because that's probably on wrap, but I would rather not go anywhere than have to submit to this. And I'll say this too, and then I'll really walk in. Everybody thinks, I'm just gonna do what they say and then they're gonna let me free. 15 days, I'm just gonna do it. It's the nice thing to do, right? That's what they tell you because you're a good person. I don't wanna ruffle any feathers. I'll just do 15 days to slow the spread. Well, now it's 2 months to slow the spread. I'll just wear a mask. We only have to wear a mask for a month. Just wear your mask. Just double mask. Dude, just put on 2 masks. It's a year later. Texas is open, Florida's open. Fauci can't figure out why it's not doing as bad as he's been fear-mongering. And now they just say, well, just get it. And I know a lot of people that don't want to, and they just get it because they're being bullied. If you want to get it, if you understand the science, and you say, you know what? The risk justifies it. I want to do it. I feel comfortable. I'd rather get it. That's fine. Knock yourself out. I don't really care what you do. But if you're getting bullied into doing it, thinking, man, I'm just going to get this and then they're going to let me free, that's the opposite of how it works. You don't comply to get your freedom. The more you comply, the more they take away. And they're rolling all this stuff out. They're rolling out passports. And now when they have all your stuff archived, I mean, they do in many ways, it's like you no longer are a free, autonomous individual. They can shut down your business. They can lock you up inside. They can take away your beaches. They can take away your churches, although the Supreme Court ruled against it. This is how these people's heads are operating. They don't believe anything that they say. Social distance for 2 months unless, it's a George Floyd protest in Hollywood with 100,000 people. Now all of a sudden we believe racism is a bigger deal than that. So, we're okay with that as long as it's for our political agenda and we're fundraising off it. Now we're okay with protests. But if you protest with 50 people against lockdowns, all of a sudden they don't believe anything that they say, folks. The more you comply, the more they steal. The more you give in, the more they take. It's not the opposite. And I wish it was. I wish I could just say, just listen to them for 3 weeks and then this will all go away. It's been over a year and a half and they're rolling out in my county, which, by the way, of course there's liberals here, but it's historically a conservative county, nicer, cleaner, safer than LA, much better. I've lived in both. They're trying to roll out a health passport so you can never be free again. I don't want to live in a slave world where I have to have PCR tests jammed up my nose 3 times a week. I have to be tested and traced everywhere I go, and I have to show proof that I got an emergency use authorized vaccine, 2 of 3 which are now fully pumping, 1 of which has been pulled off by the CDC and the FDA. And in general, they have immunity. I don't care how many times they censor me for saying this. They know that whatever the percentage is for the Pfizer or the Moderna, don't listen to me. Find the interview of Bill Gates talking about the side effects, because I can't tell you. I can't talk about it. Bill Gates on mainstream news was questioned about how a majority of people had side effects. He said, yeah, they do, but they're not that severe. But here's the kicker. I agree. Most people will be totally fine. I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just saying they know that their side effects, they have legal immunity. If they didn't have legal immunity, they wouldn't get away with this. But they can act like it's not happening because they don't have to pay for it. There is no commercial that tells you this could happen, this could happen. Maybe you're allergic to this, this, and this. They don't give a crap about you. It's like feeding everybody nuts. Most people will be fine if they ate almonds, but some people are allergic or don't have the right body for an almond, so they would get hurt or die. It's the same thing with this, where they just don't care because they have no liability. So when they force and fearmonger everybody into doing it, when people get hurt or people get injured or people have a bad side effect, no matter how small or big that percentage is, the vaccine manufacturers have zero liability through Reagan's National Childhood Vaccine Entry Act and also through the PrEP Act. This is running through PrEP Act, is the new COVID vaccines. That's why they don't care. It's not that it doesn't happen. They know it happens. That's why they seek and got legal immunity. Most pills and most commercials you watch, they don't have legal immunity. That's why they have to tell you what the side effects are. That's why they have to tell you what might happen. If you take this pill, you'll probably be fine, but blah, 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 blah. That, you know, that's every commercial. They don't do that with vaccines, not because it doesn't happen, but because they have no liability. It doesn't matter what happens to you, they will pay $0. So this is why they're so emboldened to do this stuff so quickly, because they don't give a crap if it happened. It's like rushing a car out really fast. If you rush a car out really fast, you'll probably be fine. These people are good at what they do, just like the scientists who make this. But if your car breaks down, it's like, they're not liable. They probably wouldn't care that much. They'd be like, yeah, let's rush it out. Let's do it. And then worst comes to worst, we'll just go back to the drawing board. And that's what they're doing with the J&J. Why are they halting use right now? Because they're still learning about it. They're still studying about it. And they're on television like Jen Psaki, lying to your face every single day, acting like that's not the case. But they know that's the case because they know the liability. And they also know the difference between FDA approval and emergency use authorization. And when I tell you that and I explain it with no bias, in my normal videos, I just show you FDA fact sheets, CNBC, CNN, mainstream stuff. This is what it is. I don't make the rules. If I don't run the FDA, I don't tell you what's approved and what's not. I don't work for the FDA. But the FDA has FDA approval, and then they have emergency use authorization. So when I accurately report on the truth between the differences between the two, and they take my video down, what does that tell you? They're in on this scheme as well. They are covering up, they are censoring, and in my opinion, it's borderline criminal, because you're lying to people, you're forcing them to do it, and you're just lying, spreading propaganda, spreading fear, spreading fake science. Literally what Jen Psaki is doing is spreading a factually incorrect scientific description, and then I correct her and I say, fact check, that's actually wrong, here's the truth, I'll show you right on the website, and they take my video down. I don't understand how that's not criminal, what they're doing. It's sick, and I'm so tired of Facebook doing this. I work my ass off my whole life to do this. I don't have a manager, I don't have a label, I'm just out here with the people, and I get 1.5 million followers, I get 600 million views. Yeah, I know you're mad, Facebook, because you can't ever do what I did. You're loser fact checker people who work for the establishment, who just push status quo and hurt people for a living. I know you're mad. And then every time I'm just crushing, they always try to take what I have away. But you'll never take my soul, you'll never take my honor, and I don't care how much money or reach you take, I'll figure out a way around it. But I'm just speaking directly to the Facebook censors. You guys should be ashamed of yourself for constantly censoring me, not for being wrong, for being right, for being accurate, and you want to cover it up. Got you, brother. All right, I'm going in. How you doing? Hey, how are you?
Good.
Getting some live. I'll say hi in a sec. Hold on.
You really need to care. You just really need to care. Lisa Bartlett, Lisa Vieira, Dana Point, Irvine. Put her in the east, put her in the hills, put her in the west. Thanks for it. Thanks for the San Juan Margaritas. Thanks for many.
All right, that's what it is, folks. I'm gonna keep it short. I might do a Facebook, but I think I'll be speaking today directly to the Board of Supervisors, I believe. I'm not sure, but hopefully I'll be speaking today. I'm gonna keep it short. That's what it is. People are out. Don't get it twisted. There's no conspiracy theory. There's no anti this or anti that. There's no hatred. There's people of every ethnicity, gender, you name it. People who are genuinely concerned, who don't want to live like a prisoner and a slave the rest of their life over COVID-19, because they're trying to roll out in our county a vaccine passport or a health passport, among other things. And they want to make this permanent, and they want to make your life hell. These people are miserable. What is that? Yeah, just not right now. Yeah, I got all the sheets ready. Yeah, I got. Sorry. These people are trying to just give me sheets all the time. I'm like, I got your sheets. Like, you're coming up in the live stream to try to give me a sheet. I got 20 sheets. Everybody's here. Take this handout. I got the handout, but I'm in the middle of a film. Just trying to come up and give me like 7 paper. It's like, it's not the time for that. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. That's what it is. There's no conspiracy theory. They're trying to do this. It's completely unethical. It's completely crazy. Not only is it the exact opposite of freedom and your body taking control of it and doing what you want, but these things are not even FDA approved. Even if they were FDA approved, they still shouldn't be able to do this. I like juice, I like almonds, I like peanuts, okay? But you can't force me to eat an almond, and you can't force me to drink juice, okay? Even if it's FDA approved, you can't just jam things into my body and jam things down my throat. You can't force me to take a pill. I'm not anti-pill, but I'm not on pills because I'm a healthy guy. If you're not healthy, maybe you're on a few pills. I don't bother you, don't bother me. So they're trying to take healthy people and act like you need to take all these pharmacy products. And it's crazy because, first of all, it's the same thing as nuts. I'm not saying a lot of people get hurt, but they act like it's a one-size-fits-all, and they know damn well that some people will not respond to it. I know people personally. They could censor this video all they want. I know a girl from West Virginia, I used to go to school there, who her arm doesn't work anymore. Her arm is completely broken. Her life is ruined over a shot, and she's a liberal pro-vaxxer. That's just what happened. And now she would try to tell her story, they would censor it. So, hey, how are you? How are you? Hold on, good to see you as well. Oh, thank you so much. But you know, they know this stuff happens to a small percentage of people, but they sweep it all under the rug, have total legal immunity, and now we're trying to force everybody to take a product that's not even FDA approved. And even if it was FDA approved, they can't or shouldn't force you to take it. If you go in and take it, it's the same as taking a pill. It's the same as eating food. It's the same as eating nuts or eating cheese. You got to eat it, but you're responsible for the consequences of it. So, yeah, I'm on live stream. Do you want to say something?
Sure.
First of all, wonderful to meet you.
Likewise.
I know you've been doing a lot. I'm here with the wonderful
Lee Dundas, human rights attorney.
Yeah, so let me know what's going on today, because I know I've been explaining it, but you know better than me. And thank you so much for really taking a stand in our community and all over the world. People love you.
Pleasure's mine, and it takes a village, and we got a whole village here today, which is good. So here's the long and the short of it. They're doing a vaccine digital passport, or they're trying to here in Orange County. They don't want to admit to that, though, because as their health officer said on live TV a couple days ago, people get a little freaked out by that term. It's kind of a controversial term. So they're doing a sleight of hand, and they're calling it vaccination verification services, or the composite application contract. But it's part of agenda item 28. If you're in Orange County and you can drive over here from the meeting today, come say a few words. In my humble opinion, this is the beginning of Nazi Germany. This is America. They're the ones who are going to have to go out in public and scan their phone to prove that they're up to date. And that leaves a little record, a little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail everywhere you go. Chipotle, the post office, your daughter's school. Big tech doesn't need to know that. The government doesn't need to know that. So come down here and tell Orange County what you think. The health officer is taking a cue from the Nazis, and that is unacceptable in modern day America, particularly in conservative Orange County. This needs to be voted down. Period. Full stop.
So it's two things at once. It's like it's a whole system of control, and then also I had my video taken down yesterday on Facebook, and I'm like very, very accurate, where I fact checked Jen Psaki because she said, get this as soon as possible. They're all FDA approved. And I said, fact check. They're not. They're emergency use authorized. I went to the FDA fact sheet and I said, there's a difference between FDA approval. And then this morning, after they took that video down, they're taking the Johnson & Johnson, the CDC, and the FDA, which is shocking because I don't think they even have that high of standards. They're even taking down the J&J vaccine. So it's like two things at once, where it's like it's a total system of control, but also factually these things are not approved. And they're trying to do a one-size-fits-all. I try to say, even on, say, maybe the more safe ones, where it's like, okay, you give everybody nuts. Most people can take them, but some people are going to have bad reactions. You can't force the whole country to eat nuts.
No.
It's very similar. And they know, because they have immunity from liability. So that's my way. One of the things I've thought of, where, because people can't sometimes like, you're anti-this, you're anti-that. It's like, no, I just don't want to be a prisoner the rest of my life. And I don't want to be forced to do anything. Drink, food, shot, that's crazy.
That's right. Big tech is out of control, and as one of the guys talking about Nazi Germany said, if you start by burning books, you end by burning human lives. We cannot stand for this type of censorship. It sounds all well and good when you're behind the gun pointing that censorship gun at somebody else until that gun swings around and points back at you. When we are censoring public figures, censoring agencies, censoring people on all sides of the political aisle for just expressing their opinions, which is totally allowed here in America, that is something that we did away with back 80 years ago. In Nazi Germany, it was punishable by death to speak the truth or to listen to it. And the fact that big tech is basically doing that on social media right now, they're not doing it in real life yet, but they're doing it on social media, that is something not to be proud of, and it's every reason to give us fear and get us active in voting this shit down.
Well, early on, I remember Facebook was taking down protests like early in the lockdown, and even in New Jersey, they were actually arresting people. I mean, it didn't go out well, but they do it in Canada, they do it in the UK, and they're trying to do it here. Leah Dundas, thank you so much. We're going to hopefully speak today, right?
Yeah,
inside
we're going to speak, and if your followers want to follow me, since we're getting banned everywhere, it's leighdundas.com, LEIGHDUNDAS.com. I'm a human rights attorney. Thanks for supporting us. It takes a village.
Talk to you soon. That's what it is, folks. Hopefully they don't take this video down, but I mean, that's her perspective. You know, she's very passionate about it, and there's nothing wrong, regardless of what they say. I know they got Gina Carano for it. We don't have to agree with what's what, but if you feel like this is communism, or you feel like this reminds you of Germany, regardless of your ethnicity, you have the right in America to feel that way. I certainly feel like it's reminiscent of certain things in World War II where, you know, they put people in camps, and, you know, now they're putting people in quarantine things in Canada and restricting people from traveling. So it's not that far-fetched of a theory. I think it's pretty apparent that they're like stopping people from travel, making people lock down, and in Canada, making people stay somewhere against their will in a government facility. And the kicker is they make you pay for it. They don't even pay for it, which it's crazy enough that they're doing it, but they make you pay for your own imprisonment. So God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. I'm going to download this video later, so if you guys want, feel free to download it. I should be fine, but they hate the truth. And you guys know me here. Before I leave, I try as hard as possible when I do videos to be as clear as possible. Sometimes I don't even say my opinion. I'm like, this is not my opinion. This is the FDA fact sheet. This is the FDA. This is what they said. This is what it is. I'm just reading right off the FDA Gov fact sheet. It's called fact sheet, and it's a fact by the FDA. And then they still take my video down. They're not trying to stop misinformation. They're trying to cause their misinformation, stop misinformation that goes against it, but then also stop real information that goes against it. So these people are not concerned with misinformation. They're solely pushing their agenda. And I think the most blatant, example of that is them taking down or trying to censor my Jen Psaki video, where I literally just did nothing but show FDA facts. They don't care. We're going to be out here, and that's what it is. God bless you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. And I just realized, thank you so much.
Well done.
I just realized on my Facebook before I leave, they took away the stars. So yesterday, because of the Jen Psaki video, you know, I make revenue with advertising on videos, and I make live revenue when I go live. I believe they completely took away my monetization. That's why you can't see it here. And this is the type of crap they do. I'm not going to get too upset here, but it's like they keep stealing things from me. They keep taking things from me for the crime of telling the truth. I don't know how these people get away with it. I'll talk to Lee about, you know, legal things, but you know, this is insane. They just keep taking. So thank you guys for supporting on dreamrare.com with the hats and shirts. Thank you guys on Patreon. I don't talk about it that much, and I'm not going to worry about it now, but I'm just saying this is why I do that. I don't need that much, and I'm very grateful, and I'm doing well. But every time I'm doing something, they just always keep taking away. And now they've taken away all my live stream revenue again. But whatever. God bless you guys. Have a good day, and I'll be back soon.
I'm way too jacked for the gulag. I don't stress y'all like I don't stress the moon, man. Is he talking MTV or La Luna? The more they show, it's looking like the true man. Get what I'm saying? Everything is zoomed in, left, right, trap. They set it up like a crew, man. I be too good at rapping not to do this. Got 600 million views without the music. Hey, messing with me, y'all don't really wanna start. I got soul and spirit in my heart. My mind faster, sharper than a dart. I ain't got a part. Americana, I'm a legend. I'ma stay until it's heaven. I would rather go out on my feet than have to bow down to the devil. I will not settle.